I didn't see you there. Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Space Engineers. Have I got something to show you? Look at that. Mm-hmm. It looks a little funny there at that edge, actually. Uh, so, I spent some time off camera welding up everything, making some other little adjustments. I need to make sure I don't run out of fuel, so we're gonna land. But, we've got a base. Well, sort of. We have the shell of a base that is ready to go. We have power from this much more terrifying wind tower. I didn't anticipate just how much like a blender it would look. Uh so that's that. I did receive a nice comment from a fellow by the name, or lady fellow by the name of Dagonius, who told that the minimum distance for maximum output of wind turbines is 9 blocks, which we don't have. So, it might be. I may understand something now. It might be 9 blocks above the ground, as opposed to 9 blocks between things. Because if I look, and I checked this earlier, before the soft open I'd planned and just executed. So if we look at. That's one of those. Yeah. So 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the top 4 wind turbines. They are all at optimal wind clearance. The first 4 are not. And if I look, it's easy to count here. The bottom 4 are only about 6 blocks from the ground. The other ones are, I think, 10. So, I'm just discovering this live, what that comment exactly meant. I guess I could make the tower higher, but it's also, I mean, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how much power we're gonna need, so for now we'll leave it like that. We may adjust that. I'm also realizing it would be really nice to have a stairway over this end. I could just do that, but kind of a pain to have to walk all the way down there. So we'll, I guess, begin the tour by climbing up our very dark ladder. That's a little better. The natural light doesn't really do amazingly in here, but unfortunately there's not enough room for a light. So this is what we have. In theory, this isn't a commonly accessed area, I guess, so much. The only reason you'd be in here is you're going up to the upper area. So, you know, it's kind of a utilitarian place. I think it can be dark and gloomy. Let's just reset our viewpoint. So, from up on top of the wind tower, you can kind of see out, observe the surround, keep watch for any enemy raiders that would probably be coming from above anyway. But, pretty nice view. You can fall back down the hole if you so choose. You can see our nice dome building right over there, and a, again, very like Cthulhu-esque tentacle tower shadow going on there. That's fun. Okay, so if we... Oh, I did not hit that quick enough. So, if we continue our tour, we walk down this access way, or run down the access way. Oh, I like that we can see our shadow running over there. It's kind of cool. This is, again, because we're basically at the pole of the planet, the sun just kind of arcs over there, which isn't great. But, you know, whatever. And we come in here, which, that light change just now. I've not actually, like, walked straight from outside to in. That was pretty neat. But you can see I actually doubled up and sort of I sort of smoothed the armor in here. They're a little, like, this wasn't quite the transition I'd hoped for, but it sort of works. Uh, but it almost has like a New Age cathedral feel, this, with the big sweeping windows. And I like that we get just a little bit of light, brightens it up. You can kind of see outside. If I go to a window, you know, I can look. So this will be our kind of main operational area. We'll have to kind of fill this in, liven it up a bit. We've got our stairway out that eventually will probably lead to the landing pad for the scrap metal, or whatever other visiting ships come to here. But continuing right along, we have our little enclosed access way, and eventually this should all be airtight. I don't have air producing apparatus yet, but eventually I'll put some of that in. We should be able to fill this whole area with oxygen. This area as well will be oxygenated. In fact, I'm debating, because I could get rid of the second doors of both these airlocks and just put a, what are they? Not catwalk. What do they call them? Passageway blocks. These boys. I could put a passageway block there, and that could be a cool little use for a passageway block. The benefit of the airlock is this is a glass tube, and there are angry folk about out and about. So there could be some benefit to having this sealable separately. But actually, this should stay an airlock because this room is just open. This is going to be the garage. With our garage door going in here. We'll have to figure out an actual mechanism to dock up to something. But that's what this will be. So, that's the tour. That's all we have so far. This episode, I think my plan... I'm gonna land again. I think my plan is going to be to kind of interior decorate. Fill out the space, get everything functional to where the base itself is working. Or at least kind of start that process. Lay out the interior, get plans done. We may not have all the parts for everything, but my goal by the end is to have a functional base. A signal. So, let's see. I think first order of business for that. And now I'm debating. It would be nice to be able to bring the scrap metal in and dock it much closer. And for that, I'd want to build out the landing pad. Downside is, doing that means I have to build and weld the landing pad. And I don't really want to do that now, because I just spent, quite literally, I just finished welding all this stuff up. So I don't really want to do the ground. Maybe we'll just fly it closer. What I am going to do, though, is something I probably should have done earlier, and do a test fit of the Rambler buggy in the hangar in the garage. And I believe I got a comment telling about ways to fix the buggy a couple weeks back, but in my infinite knowledge, it was a couple weeks ago, and so now I've forgotten it. So, I may look that up at a later date if I remember. I'm gonna... Hey, looks like I'm gonna fit. Yeah. Now that works well. And so what I can do... So I have an idea. Because I also... One thing we don't have are any defenses. Currently, we're still relying on the scrap metal to shoot anything that shows up, which may not be a particularly reliable thing long term. So what I think I may do I should... What do I have in my inventory? A bunch of junk. I have 2 welders. Don't know why I have that. Either way, I'm gonna put a connector here, or a conveyor here, turret on top. I may do a turret on top of the dome as well, the main dome, that I can pipe up. And then, my idea is on the perimeter, at kind of just various places around, I'm gonna build little defense outposts. Basically, it'll just be a turret with a wind turbine next to it. And they'll just be there at a range, kind of in a perimeter. So if a drone comes in, it will be able to be shot, and I will survive. So, first step. The buggy fits. Let's go ahead and move the scrap metal closer, so that I can get my parts. Okay. How do I fly again? Nope. Oh, another Spirit of Le Monde. That's another thought I had. It may be interesting. So, it'll take a lot more parts to finish this and fill it out. I'm debating I may invest in building a more advanced fighter, something a little bit more capable than the Headhunter, hopefully. I may try and take out a ship flying by for a little piracy. I think that'll be a fun way to hopefully get the parts I need. Ideally, if I could get like a refinery and some of the various upgrade modules for that, that's kind of what I want. I could go digging for it all, but digging's really boring and doesn't make good, exciting content, so no need to waste our time with that. Okay. Oh, hello. Am I... Okay. Somehow my landing gear got... Oh! Inertial dampeners were off. My landing gear got out of sync. Okay. So just get right up cozy here. Okay. Nope. There we go. So a little bit sideways, but shouldn't be a big problem. That means it's now much easier to come out and get the various parts I need. So, okay. In with you. Let's dump that I don't need. Keep that up there. I don't have ammo. That's not very handy. Okay, that should be good. We'll take some steel. I don't really need to use the airlock because there's no air yet. But, I don't know. Feels correct. Okay. So the idea I'd had... Makes it a little easier to see. My idea was to have this front area kind of walled off and separate, and that will be where the living space is. In fact, got an idea for that too. That's the wrong button. So, if we just kind of smooth this off. Yeah, man. Yeah. I don't really need a ton of room. I need somewhere with beds, somewhere that they can kind of eat. But it would be nice to keep it still somewhat open and have like a sort of balcony area. So, okay. So if I have a floor there, if I had another floor right here, that does leave some room up top, though it's kind of cozy. Maybe what I'll do, I'll see if I can get by with just basically one room level. So, ooh, and in fact, this will be smart. We'll do this, that way both floors have window access. And we'll clear out the rest of this. So my thinking is, because all of this is technically enclosed, I can have these be kind of private bedroom sections on each side, with stairs maybe in the middle flanking the main entrance that lead up to the second level, which can be like the eating and living space. Have some couches up there and like the kitchen stuff. I think that could be a nice little look. Whoops. We'll have to build as we go here. That is, I could have, I guess... Well, no. I was thinking I could have planned this out before I covered everything, so I wouldn't have to just grind away stuff. But, it was already difficult enough, kind of trying to figure out exactly how to do this and make it look correct. So, and you can kind of see it didn't 100% work, because it kind of goes like a sort of Z shape, like up, whoop, whoop. So, I just kind of was like, yeah, it's good enough, I'm done messing with it. So, I think it made life easier just to kind of get the shape, repeat it my 4 times, and then adjust it later. Plus, I guess it means I don't have to go back for steel as often. So kind of lay this out. And I guess... Maybe we... Nope. Ah. There we go. Maybe we do something like this. And then we make... Oh, except that it goes right to the window, doesn't it? Well, that may be okay. Yeah, so what I can do... I'll have the wall for this room kind of there. We've got the room here. We can have our beds and then maybe like a bathroom. And then we'll repeat this on the other side. Then here we have room for our stairs up to the second level. We still have this area so we can kind of look out and observe the goings-on the factory floor. And we still have our window access. So we can almost use this as sort of a living kind of... This is the... What do they call that? Not a rotund. Maybe. I don't know. This is a spot where you can be... You'll be able to look out on things arriving. It'll be nice. And made of steel. As I've gotten somewhat used to playing on a server with some friends, where the inventory limit is like the max, uh, which I don't super love conceptually, just because, I don't know, in my mind it's nice to, what are you? Yeah, it's fine. In my mind it is kind of part of the game to have a limit you can carry and have to, you know, plan around that, which is why you build drones. But for stuff like this, where I don't think Buzzy will fit in here, it is a real pain. It's quite nice to just be able to carry like 5,000 steel plate in your pocket and then weld up the planet. And back I go for more steel. Dang it, and out of iron again. Oofa toofa. You know what? Hold on. Let me finish this block just because I can. I think maybe. So, I don't want to have to go dig more iron. We need a bunch of various parts to get everything functional. I think I'm going to go ahead with my fighter plan. I'm going to design and build something, and hopefully the next big ship that flies by, I can take it down, grind up its parts, and turn those into the base. That sounds like a plan. Okay. Switching to fighter design mode. Where's a hole? There we go. Okay. I needed some of that. So. Take some steel. Take some of those. Okay. This'll be... Well, over here is a good flat spot, and I have quick access. So... Not a big ship. Okay. So... Fighter design. Well... First step is I'll need batteries. And I probably want these relatively central. We'll do 2 and see where we get. We also need, because we are on a planet without atmosphere, we're going to want a O2H2 gen and some pipes. Go ahead and stick that there because it's an easy spot for it, and it lets me easily place that. And then a cockpit, which I need construction components. It's weird. I'll just have some of them. Okay. So what I can do is pipe these up. On each side here. And have a pair of hydrogen engines. So I think I'm going to build this thing atmospheric, so with atmospheric engines. But this will give me the ability to essentially use hydrogen as a little fuel jump start. So if I am using a lot of power, I kick on the engines, and then I can go. What I could do too, since I've got the room, is have some extra tanks. For the engines, I could put a pair of essentially hydrogen boosters on it. Basically as afterburners. If I need a little bit more oomph, I kick those on. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay. So, let's get this base built. And then I'll figure out armor next steps. Okay, low fuel. Let's see if I can make it on board.
Fuel
Yes.
critical.
Just go top her off. Might as well do this because I need power anyway. And it's easy access to just refuel. And sort of easy access to get the parts I need. Except I need more parts. I forgot there was a turbine there. Ow. Okay. Now for batteries, which I may have to... Let's see. Okay, I have enough for one. Do I have enough for a second? Yes. Okay. Well, so that's the base done. So that's good. Now, let's see. I want to do a bit of armoring and a bit of other stuff. So I can have this right here. Oh, that's like landing on top of me. Let me go yoink that for some free stuff. That's a good spot for the connector, because I can pipe it up there and then have the actual connector part flush with the hull. Which isn't super important, but seems nice to me. We will go get this unknown signal and then keep planning. Okay. Vroom, vroom. Okay, and this still has plenty of power, which is good. Are you an annoying one? No, you're just a normal one. Let's see what free thing I get. Another Badger welder. Sweet. Ooh, but 41 steel plate, which is handy. Okay. So that's some stuff for me. Which one of these is home? Mars Base 1. Back to having too many signals. It does look nice from a distance, though. Oh, one of my tail lights is off. If we were on a more civilized planet, I'd get pulled over for that. Okay, back to fighter. So, I'm thinking I'll design it to be sort of fighter jet shaped. I don't think it'll be used like a fighter jet, just because it's not very useful in space engineers, but fighter jet shaped sounds nice. So, can cover that, and then slope the armor back over these. And I'll have to figure out how best to widen it. So in actuality, can't speak. Actually, what I'll do is have it come out like this. Or not even these. This. These here. So I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. Yeah. And then we can... Yeah, that's the wrong button. We can kind of reverse the slope down here. Let's see what this looks like. Oh. Well, it doesn't quite work. Different plan, different plan. These will fall off. Like that. I just wanted to weld that for fun. Okay. So instead of that, we'll keep this slope going down. We'll just leave that there for now. I want to kind of figure out how best to enclose all of this first. Which at this point may just be... So... This is a little bit, I don't want to say pointless, but... I mean, any armor on a small grid ship like this is a bit moot, just because it's so weak. Like, a bullet will rip through it. So I'm still going to have to keep in mind what I go up against. But maybe this is where I stick thrusters out. Which means it would make sense to have a bit of a transition. In fact, what does that look like? So if I do... so if I stick a thruster there, that could be something. I have a spot to put a thruster here. I'm apparently out of steel plate, which is super cool. Let's... got a lot of those. Okay. Oh no. Why? Oh, because... so that's not a thing I can place on. Okay. Well. No, I've not done anything there. So that's a lifting thrust. And then braking thrust. If... then do kind of a this situation. Uh... Wild idea. So, I do that there. And then, no. So that's how that has to go. That doesn't really do the do. Okay, I don't think we have a block for that. We could just kind of do that. That's something. I don't know why we have this weird hump. I don't think it looks quite great, but... I mean, it's so hard to make creative decisions like this when you're just looking at a weird wireframe mess. Yeah, okay. Got an idea. We will not worry about the armor yet. We will get all the functional stuff going. Make sure it's something that can operate. Oops. And then worry at a later date about making it look half decent. So, if I stick a thruster on that, and a thruster on that, and those are my two forwards.
Energy low.
I can stick one thruster in there, and then maybe some smaller ones up here. So that should be enough lift. Add forward thrust. I need side thrust. Which can go here and here. And then... Maybe braking thrust there. And there. Okay. I need more power. So that'll be something. I'm gonna need a lot of parts. But hopefully, because it's all small, hopefully I actually have enough parts available to do something. And the goal of this thing is, again, it's not going to be printable, so I'm going to need to, I should fill up my bottle. Uh, I'm going to need to make darn sure that it survives. So part of that'll be armor. Part of that, I think, is going to be me taking better care with how I fly it. So I'm not the world's best combat pilot. Let's see. Okay. See how many bits I have. And actually, while we're here, we'll just turn all those off so that we don't have to worry about power draw as we sit on the ground. Okay. Do I actually have those bits? Maybe, maybe not. Nope. Yep, no metal grids. Ooh, which may also be tough because... and they take iron. We'll set 100 to go. Let's... I don't love doing this. That should give me enough to produce the grids I need. Let's stop using fuel while we're watching numbers tick down. So this should hopefully... Again, the whole goal of this is get which... blah, 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 blah. My goal is to be able to speak coherently. The whole goal with this fighter is to be able to get rich quick by piracy. So... okay, it looks like we're getting enough. We can at least have big thrusters. This thing might be a V or a might have to helicopter fly, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Okay, so those just need one grid each, so we should be alright. Guns and stuff take grids, so let's build you. Just while we're here. Okay. So that should be... that's some internals. Let's do weapon systems now. So first... just get a bunch of those. So we'll do that there. Then... okay, I think what I'll do is we'll just have a cone of guns. So... one there. One there. One there. One there. So that should give us a good bit of firepower. And it's all pretty well concentrated right at the front. The downside is... maybe... yeah. Slight adjustment. I'm going to have some more guns out to the side. That way, because this is the nose, it's the most likely place to get blown up. If I have some extra guns off over here, they'll still be relatively in line. A little bit worse. It gives me a heavier firepower, which is good. And it means, hopefully I have a little bit more survivability because I can still shoot stuff, even if I get rocked in the face by a Gatling turret. So. Okay. This thing's actually looking like a ship already, even with no real armor done. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but... yeah, I think with a little bit more attention, it'll work well. So... is that all the functional? No. I should have an antenna, and I think I want another second gyro. Not a big one. Those. So. We'll have that there. And then... second gyro there. And I'm putting them... so the first gyroscope is connected to this front battery. This one's connected to this one. That way, if by chance one battery gets destroyed, because batteries tend to be a higher target for turrets, I should still have a gyroscope. Because that's, I mean, that can be... if the batteries get hit, that's probably fatal as it is. But... at least I'll be able to steer still. So... okay, now... I think we're ready to armor. Oh, actually, no. So, a couple more useful things. Parachutes could be good. We'll have some. Maybe just one. But a projector... I'll have a couple. I want a projector in here. That way, I have the ability to repair myself. Because again, this not being a printable ship, I want it to be relatively survivable. So we got that. And... where to put... I could just stick them here and here, the parachutes. Which would work fine. They'll probably be hidden under armor, which doesn't actually matter for parachutes. They'll still deploy. but it just kind of feels wrong. Huh. And there's not another great spot for them. Uh, huh. I don't love it. I guess I could... Here's an idea.
Energy critical.
Because I've not decided on what the armor will look like yet either. We need energy here in a second. So we'll just stick them up on little stalks from here. With the knowledge that those should be exposed. Which will sort of work too, because it lets me widen out this upper area. Because I want to cover all this stuff. Okay. Let's borrow some power from it. Real slow charging power. But that shouldn't be an issue. Okay. Now I think I'm happy with functionality. This isn't... no. So that'll be on the ground with that. That should be fine. And I mean the bottom has to be open anyway. And it means I can more easily cover the top up. Okay. So, fill ourselves with steel. Get rid of that. And let's get all my shapes. So yeah, what I can do now is I can kind of... well, this may work perfectly. So I can run that back. I would love to be able to have, like... I kind of want to have the shape of the open engine pods. Maybe I'll make an adjustment, but I've got the engines there, so I know kind of roughly where they need to be. Yeah, and what I can do now is sort of flare it out. So the whole ship will kind of sweep back this way. We'll have that be flat. I'd love to have this be something. What would happen? So, okay, let's finish this front shape and see if I like it still. I think it works well, because I've got my gun exposed. I can kind of continue it that way, and that'll help me cover up down here. In fact, I could even... I don't think I want to do this, but I could pretty reasonably run it back like that and just have the bottom of things exposed. Ooh, that's tempting. So... we'll leave that there and see what becomes of it in my brain. You can kind of run that in. So up front here, we'll have this whole thing be looped. And then again, just very simple armor shapes. Though actually, no, no, no. No, come on, give it. So, got another idea. What I'm going to do up here is actually use heavy armor. It won't go far, but...
Fuel low.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Fuel critical.
So I'll have the heavy armor up front there. What that will mean, it's not too much extra, but it's a little bit more strength on the idea that the nose is going to be the most likely part to get hit first. It'll hopefully mean I can take just a little bit more damage before I lose the nose. And if I can kind of deflect stuff with the nose, it helps protect the cockpit, which is a bit of a vulnerability. So, do that, and then if I can figure out how to rotate, there we go. Yes. Okay, so we'll have that. We've got our guns. We've got a little bit more armor on the nose. Armor in there. I'll probably put a camera here, too, just to improve aiming. Because right now, I'm technically just above the guns. From here, all my guns will be basically kind of circling dead on whatever I'm looking at. Okay, let's get rid of that so we don't accidentally build half the ship out of heavy armor. And we'll do the other side.
Low.
Whoops, I forgot the bottle.
Fuel critical.
I'm also being a bad boy and building things while flying instead of landing somewhere to build a section. How much? I've got tons of ice. Ice aplenty. Whoop. Okay. And from here, I can do about the same thing I was doing, but without using up all my precious jetpack fuel. Okay. Oh, can't do that. But I've got room down here. Mm-hmm. And then I'm actually leave those 3 blocks open because I can put my landing gear there. That is another thing I have learned from my mistakes of the headhunter, and this will have a landing gear to attach me to a ship so that I don't just drift away from it. I can actually weld all this up because it only takes 1 steel each. Okay. So, for down here, I'll just fill in these gaps. And then build it out a bit because I can't do the placing I want. With our new blocks, I can just do all of this at a half height. At a certain point, I need to stop calling them new blocks because they aren't going to be new. But I can make all this half height, which still offers some protection. In fact, I was debating, I think I am going to fill this in just to give a little bit more resilience. But this will offer a bit of protection, to the connector, while still keeping this area above the ground so that the connector and landing gear are the things that hit and not bodywork. And it lets me provide a little bit of cover for these bits while still having the cool bottom engine-y parts coming out. Yeah. Okay. So, I wish there was a better way to cover those up, but there really isn't, so we'll just have a hole for them. Okay. On this piece. So, I don't think there's a better way to do it other than to just have what's going to end up being a little bit boxy, but generally protective. Yeah. Heck, this area is almost big enough I could put a turret. Though, the downside is I don't have a convenient way to pipe a turret up there. Unless I guess I get rid of or adjust how the parachute hatches work. What is in the middle here? Oh, actually, So, oh, so my projector's there. Huh. If I get rid of the antenna, or even, actually, I don't have to get rid of it. Oh, don't grind the battery. So what I'll do, I'll have the antenna up here, and it will be breaking. I won't be able to put a block there, but I can put a turret on top of this whole mechanism with a pipe
Energy low.
coming up from these. So, let's get a bit of those. Yeah. So, I still get my... parachutes. Can't do that. I still get my parachutes, and I can pipe a turret up. Someday it'll be able to refill itself. What I may do is just give it a little bit of a shield. There. We'll put that back. And
Energy critical.
if I move it up one more, it would be perfectly aligned. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Let's go get some more energy and fuel. Well, never mind. Give me the power. Okay. Oh, that, well, I guess gets me there just the same. Yeah. What I'm gonna do, I'll have these on the side. That way I can sorta cover up that. You still see part of the parachute hatch, so it feels slightly more reasonable. Kinda helps all that flow together. Yeah. Okay, so I should finish up back here, though. Oh, and the downside is it's gonna look a little tacked on if I was originally gonna do these out the back and have it kind of come to a more of a point. It'll feel tacked on, I think, so what we'll do is that'll go there, there. Oh, it's a perfect line. Yeah, this should work. Oh, nope. You will be able to see that thruster. Though, being able to see that thruster a little bit isn't the worst thing. Because it makes sense to have a big air intake. Well, maybe from back here. Nope. Because that'll allow me to cover it. Then... Well, let's just keep working our way back and see what we do. So... Okay. Let's do that. Now we're going to get a little bit more steel, but I'm going to do something a little wild. So, well, very wild, I guess. Let's Place this back on there before everything despawns. Okay. And off. So while I'm doing that, I will go away. I'll now have them... One, I think it does look a little bit better. Having some wing area. And I'll now be able to kind of cover this up in armor in a way that looks good. Without having to worry about the thruster. And the reason I did two there instead of just one, it gives me room that I can try and make a covering for the thruster so that I'm not sacrificing that thruster to make this work.
Inventory full.
So let's dump that in there. That'll be good. Because then I can still... do that. That is the upright position. And there we go. So. Oh, and I'm out of steel. That's the wrong button. Oh, that is the right button. Yes. Okay. So. This will kind of cover up this area. Give us a little more protection. Let's weld up this. And this armor's not necessary, probably, but it makes me feel a little better knowing kind of the important stuff's covered, even if I lose the turret. I think it will be beneficial in the long run. Okay. So... let's get a bunch more steel. Just kind of bring that all the way back. It's unfortunately, so what I can do is start the... I kind of want the back to slope up towards a sort of tail area up there. Unfortunately, we don't really have the parts to make this smooth. So it'll be a little bit kind of just whatever fits. I'll probably use this. Because this line more or less ends here anyway. I guess I could. That still won't mesh with this bit, but I can do one of these and then one of these. So it's at least still kind of... yeah, that looks good. It's not quite the shape you would expect, but it's a shape that looks intentional and not just hard right angle on hard right angle. So... then I may just make this flat. Yes. Ooh. I did just realize if I build anything covering these thrusters might cook them. So these may just be exposed engine pods.
Critical.
I mean, there's worse you could do, I guess. They look decent. That's the important part of a combat vessel, is the look. Okay. Now I do want... I want this thruster to be protected here in the middle.
Fuel
To the
low.
point... whoops. I need things.
Fuel critical.
So I want all that protected decently well, just because that is the main lifting thrust is more important, arguably, than the main forward thrust, because I can still fly the thing if it's lifting. So... this does have a cool look to it. Dang, I may have to figure out... I may have to figure out if I can make this thing, give it more fuel and make it space capable. I kind of want to take it with me now. But that will come at a later date. For now... oh, that's... okay, that'll work. So what we'll do... is... oh, actually... I'll leave that open. That can be... oh, and I can actually... yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I'll put 2 more tanks here. And then I can have the... pipe and whatnot, so I have my hydrogen afterburners. Oop, I'm out of fuel again. Keep forgetting the bottles. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I thought I had 13 steel plates. I've got 131. Ooh. Okay, I don't think it's picking up. It is now storming outside my house. So, I sure hope the power stays on. That's a good sign. I'll probably need to bring this to a close, but I really want to finish this first. This is now a race against hubris. Oh, no. So I need this wider. Because I need to protect that hydrogen thruster. That'll be in there. Okay. Okay, so it'll kind of slope up a bit, but it looks like the main tail's going to be kind of out here. Maybe I'll just wrap it up here at the back. Bring it all to a kind of rounded end. And that gives me a little bit of room to play with, adding more thrusting and whatnot to it in the future. Nope. Okay. Good, good. Maybe just for... for the sake of flow. I'll have that. I don't love how it, is coming to a weird, like, broadened point, but at a certain at a certain point, you just kind of have to let the ship do what the ship wants to do, and then deal with making it pretty later. I may, if I'm gonna curve this off, I'm gonna flatten this. So gives a little bit less protection, but it'll make it even back here. And what I need to do, before I forget, I need these extra tanks. Whoops. Okay. Still take a lot. No, because that's a big one. Get out of here, big tank. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. Ah, that's what it's doing. Are we out of computers? Yes. Okay. Let's make some of those. And then some of those and 2 of those. Okay. Actually, maybe I just stick this... Oop. Finish that first, and then just pop these directly on the back. Ooh, that was some thunder. Okay. So now... Ooh, pretty cozy. Now what we can do is get some steel plate. I need that still. Let's see what this will look like. quite literally just capping it off. I know what it needs. I need to continue the mohawk. Sort of. Yeah. It's so much longer to grind than to weld. Okay. A little bit more subtle, but it'll still curve into the body. Yes. Oh, that looks good. Okay. I need to finish these.
Energy low.
Let's take those bits out. Well, that was closer. Okay. Okay. Oh, I need a landing gear, but we can figure that out. Let's do landing gear and my camera. Landing gear.
Critical.
Oops. Helps if I weld up the armor before placing the things on it. Okay. That is looking good. Could use some paint work. I am kind of bummed that I can't... I may try and see what I can do to surround these thrusters a bit. Just, we'll see. But, yeah. I think, at the risk of losing power, and because I'm at a good amount of video already to edit down, I think this is where I'm going to end it. We now have a fighter ship, heavily armed, that I should be able to use to take down a big ship that we can then use to get a bunch of stuff to fill our base. So, that'll be the plan for next week, I think. So, until then, thank you for joining me. Be back at the same time, same place, more than likely. Though, you never know.
No
Oh,
energy.
I'm dying. Okay, we'll end in the cockpit. So yeah, that'll be it. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.